Welcome to the Infinite Life with Katische Haberfield. I'd like to take you on a transformative journey, exploring the mysteries of the soul. I hope you enjoy the regression case studies, mediumship interviews, and fascinating discussions that I've had with guests on the podcast. I hope that these answer some of the questions that you might have about life on this planet, on others, and in other dimensions. Thank you for joining me, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And, most importantly, share with your friends. Namaste.
Hi, I am Dr. Susanne Kurz, and I had a mediumship session with Katische in summer 2022. And it was phenomenal. I remember feeling deeply touched by the messages that she brought through for me. It was very emotional, and it also set me on the path that enabled me eventually to start channeling myself, stories, messages, and I'm only in the beginning of this. It did take a couple of months for me before I was able to really get started, so don't necessarily expect immediate results because every path is different, but it is a life-changing experience. At least it was for me, and I highly recommend it.
Welcome back to the Infinite Life podcast. I'm your host, Katische Haberfield. Thank you so much, Dr. Susanne Kurz, for that amazing mediumship testimonial. If you've been following me on Facebook, you'll see how I had a week of free live mediumship sessions, but that testimonial was from a couple of years ago. So it's been really nice to add back the mediumship sessions. And because it's Christmas time when this episode is being recorded, I do have very beautiful, angelic color gift certificates for you to purchase for your loved ones for Christmas. Or you can buy them for yourself for Christmas. And I did mention this in the last episode that the sessions were available, but I didn't have the gift certificates available, so you can buy them for your friends and family now. They are individual sessions because I find that it's more beneficial for you to receive your own questions. And I know that doesn't suit some people, but that's the way I work because it's very specific in my mediumship sessions. And they're only 30-minute sessions, so there's not time to bring through messages for everybody in your family. And sometimes it's just messages for you that maybe you want to keep private. So that's on my website, katische.com. And as always, we do have the availability for the private versions of the podcast sessions. So for those of you who are new, because we've had a double in our downloads this year, so there's a lot of you who are new, and thank you for tuning in. I do basically past life regression therapy, as well as other components such as hypnotherapy, which is a component of past life regression therapy. And this podcast has been mostly case studies. And I don't mean case studies in a sense of me talking you through a scenario. We do it live, and we do it with cameras, and we do it with real names and real people, so that you can see behind the scenes of an actual regression case study. And you can see what it really is like to be in other lifetimes and to be on other planets, other frequencies and dimensions. And I don't know of anybody else who does this in a spiritual podcast per se. The other thing that is interesting about this is so you can do the private happiest moment of my soul sessions, which have been this season. And you can see this week and last week that I did them for myself because I found them so beneficial. But on the website, katische.com, you can also book in for season 13 and 14. One is called Infinite Love Season, and it's a season about experiencing non-duality. And I think those are going to be really quite short sessions. So I've reduced the price of those sessions. And the other thing is you can join for season 14, which is exploring emotions in the present lifetime. So I've posted about this on the community tab on my YouTube page, and also on my posts on Facebook. And there is an application process to be a part of the podcast because there are legal disclaimers involved. There is a payment involved because you're receiving my specialized skills, but you receive a reduced price because it is public rather than private. So the next season with regression sessions and specific therapy is the hypnotherapy with regression to present life. So it's not past lives, it's only present lives. And we do 3 sessions and we look at the emotions that are presenting in this lifetime as you. And we do full therapeutic resolution in 3 sessions of the most important emotion for you. You do need to fill out quite a detailed and lengthy application form. Don't let that distract you because it's part of the work. You've got to get your conscious mind to help you understand what you're going through. So then I can review it with you in your intake session, and I can determine if this is the appropriate method or type of therapeutic session for you. Perhaps I look at your form and I say, I'm not sure that this is the right session for you. I might refer you to another practitioner. Or I might say, okay, but you need to rethink this and fill out that form again because I don't think you have paid enough attention or detail. And is this the right time for you? And of course, sometimes I'll refer you away because you're a personal friend or a family member, because that's just a bit like being a doctor, right? You can't go to a doctor if you're in the same family. So sometimes I have to say, look, I'd love to help you, but here's my preferred practitioner who can help you. So I have a number of these. So I think that's the 2 things. Go to katische.com, click on the homepage. You can see I've got mediumship available now. It's separate to my therapeutic sessions because it's totally different. If you wish to mirror the experiences that people are having on the podcast, you can go to the private session versions of those. So have a good explore, and thank you for tuning in. I'm about to take you back to the podcast for what you came here for today, but I just wanted to thank you for your continuing support. I really do appreciate any comments that are left on social media. And don't forget that now, if you watch via Spotify, I know a lot of people prefer to watch it on Apple because that's where I have most of my viewers, but Spotify now has video on your mobile phone. So you can watch the videos either on YouTube and your YouTube app. That used to be that you could only watch the videos on Spotify desktop, but Spotify has now turned into Spotify for creators. And so they're pushing out clips. So you call those reels or shorts on Spotify, as well as the full video and audio episodes on your phone. So if you've got the Spotify app, you can simply just click on the image. I was going to show you, but it was going to, and you can find the podcast on your phone, and then you can watch the videos as well. Or if you prefer, you can just switch it to audio only. But I do recommend the videos because then you see it, not just hear it. And some people believe that they need to see it before they believe it, and some people know that that you actually need to use your subconscious mind and change your reality. So that's about it for now. So this is my final happiest moments of my soul session. And then for the next 2 weeks after that, we will be doing the review sessions. I actually prefer the review sessions because they are so informative and insight based, and we get breakthroughs just even in the review sessions. And then after that, it will be Merry Christmas to you all and Happy New Year. And then we'll be going into Trudy's sessions. And that will take us, that's the next 8 weeks of the podcast, 2 months. So after that, will depend upon who signed up to the 2 podcast seasons. So get your application forms in for season 14, which is the therapeutic version, but you don't need an application if you are part of the Infinite Love season, because it's not therapy. It's not a therapeutic process. It's an exploration of the soul. Okay, namaste. Until we speak again, take very good care of yourself, and thanks for joining me.
I am asking the angels to now move and carry you through time and space to another moment and place where there is something important for you to learn and understand, something that will help you in the very best way. The angels are carrying you, drifting and floating through time and space. You are feeling protected and safe, comfortable and relaxed. The angels know the way. They are taking you to a moment in time that is important for you, drifting and floating through time and space. And now the angels are stopping. They are bringing the bubble of white light that you are in back down, down, down to the surface. The bubble of light is on the surface now. I'm going to count from 3 to 1, and when I reach 1, you'll be on the other side of the white bubble, our destination for today. 3, moving through the white light. 2, moving through the white light. 1, be on the side of it now. You're in another place, another time. Look around you. Engage all of your senses. Look with your mind's eye. Feel and know through your energy body. Listen with your spiritual ears. What is your first impression?
Sharp. Like a crystalline cave. And I tried to go down the steps into the cave, but it seems very jagged, like it might cut my foot, but I'm not quite sure. It's like, do you know if you go down an escalator in a shopping center, the escalator edges look quite sharp, but you don't ever cut yourself on the foot, do you? You just you realize that it's flat, but it's got a sharp edge.
Yep.
So I think that if I just imagine that that's like an escalator made of crystal, then I can go down there. So let me just see. It's not clear crystal. It's got swirls of pinks and blue in it. And at the moment, all I'm getting is it feels like a round cave. No, not round. Oblong, like a gigantic emu egg, but made of crystal.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense, but anyway, keep going. What else do I see? There are pretty plates hanging on the wall, like decorative plates. Okay, so maybe this is like somebody's house.
Yes, I was going to say, is this a home?
And yeah, somebody has been like bedazzled the house. What are some of these plates? Doesn't make sense, but it looks like a picture of lions' faces.
Okay.
They're not scary lions, like a family portrait of a lion.
Yeah.
So I see it as like a kid's drawing. You know, like if they go to kindergarten and they have to draw, they say, draw me a picture of your family. And so the kid drew a picture of his family, and his family is lions.
Yep.
But these aren't like earth lions. These are like lions from Lyra. You know, the planet Lyra, or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Lyrian lions. Not Syrian lions. Lyra. Anyway. Lyria. Something like that. So I think that's a picture of, there we go. I think that's a picture of a family from there.
Yep. Okay.
And my heart feels happy. So maybe that's my family from when I was there.
Okay. But just because your heart feels
No, I think
happy.
maybe I was the kid who drew the picture.
Okay. Is that what you feel? Feel into that?
Yeah, I feel like there's a picture of a little kid lion with a big cheesy grinny face, like, this is me and that's my mum and that's my dad, and see, I drew me in the middle.
Okay. So in that case, if you look
That's the
down at
kind
your
of
feet now, what do they look like?
sensation.
If you look at your
They
feet,
got slippers on. They've got trousers that go into slippers. Like,
okay. So if you look at
not
your,
like Ugg boots, but like,
yeah. Okay. So if you look at your hands,
I'm gonna say they're hairy.
okay. Yep. Great. That's all we need to know. Okay. What else can you see? Or what can you
So,
hear?
do you know the kids' cartoon Alibaba, the book,
Yep.
with the elephant?
Yep.
And he's a king, and well, this is like that. It's like he's got slippers on,
Mm-hmm.
but they're maroon,
Mm-hmm.
purpley, and they're comfy and cushy. And then he's wearing pleated pants.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is his around the house clothes, but he's still ironed and pressed his pants with the crease going down the front so
Mm-hmm.
that you can see them, which does seem a bit much for your around the house pants. And I think the line is a he, not a she.
Okay.
And I think it's like, wearing a vest.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a backpack on though. That doesn't make sense, but it's like, the backpack is a hard case and it's shaped like a turtle shell.
Yep.
So it seems like he's come down into this room to come and get something before going somewhere.
Yep.
Like, he's come to take something from a bedside table.
Yep.
There's a big ring. Better take that. I don't know what it does, but it's oval and kind of like a moonstone, but red. It does something, but it's not to do with moods like the human ones. You know how they
Yep.
change color. You know those silly
Yep.
ones. Yeah, it's not like that, but it looks like that. And it's gold. Is the metal.
Yep.
And then what else do I see? Some flowers in a vase, but they don't have water in it because they don't need water. But they're kind of stiff like an everlasting flower, but they're sort of shiny, like made out of something that we would call Lego or plastic.
Yep.
But they're not fake. That's how they look.
Okay.
Doesn't make sense, but anyway, there's flowers, and then there's a silver oval shaped mirror on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we would call a fridge. It's not a fridge. I guess that's where you put your food. And there's some, I think that's like a butterfly. That's like a pet butterfly. It's not a butterfly, but you know what I mean. Similar sort of a thing. There's some kind of a animal fluttering around the room. There's a couple of them. They're small and they're happy to see me, but they know that I'm going away again, and maybe I've come to feed them, but that doesn't seem right. Maybe they've come to give them the keys. That doesn't make sense either, but something, doing something with them here. And then the backpack just sort of lit up a bit, like it went green around the edges. And I feel like I've got a suitcase, like the old-fashioned suitcases that were rectangular.
Yep.
And I feel like it's packed because I just heard that click, click, you know, the old, but I don't see it. I can sense it, but I don't see it.
That's okay.
So I must be about to go on an adventure.
Yeah, can you
But
feel where
everything
you're going?
seems clean in here and shiny and pretty. No, but I just got a pork pie hat and put it on my head. You know those British hats.
Yep.
Some people might call them the detective hats. And I seem to have a cigar, which is gross, but it's not a cigar. I don't know what you do with that, but you put it in your mouth. Oh, and poof, you go up into the air. Why would you do that?
Interesting.
But I've just gone up into the air like Mary Poppins does. I don't have an umbrella, but I've gone up into the air. But it's a bit like Morrigan Crow. I don't know if you read that story, but she catches an umbrella line to go to school.
Yep.
And so I'm catching some sort of again, invisible vehicle to go somewhere. And it's like a cross between a ski chair lift and I wanted to say it's enclosed, but I can't see the edges because it's a bit invisible like the suitcase.
So is it like an
So I know I'm
invisible
in it,
barrier?
and I know I can't. Yeah, I can't get rained on, for example.
Yep.
But I'm inside.
Yep.
So I'm safe.
Yep.
And I can't fall out. But the edges aren't solid. You get what I mean?
Yep.
And so now we're going down quite fast. And it looks like we're going into a lagoon, but we can't be going into the lagoon, but it's like it goes underneath the water.
Yep.
Which is weird because I thought I was underground already, but I was underground and then I went up into the air and then I've gone down again. That's quite strange. Let's see. Can't seem to.
Just follow it down gently.
I think somebody did take my backpack off now.
Okay.
They took all my gear. This sounds ridiculous, but it's like, well, maybe I've gone into a fairy realm, because it's like in that lake was a hotel.
Yep.
And like the doorman was the one who greeted me and took my invisible suitcase and my backpack.
And your backpack, yep.
And he was dressed in doorman's clothes.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like a doorman dressed in doorman's clothes, except for he was a frog.
Okay.
A frog that was standing on his legs. Oh dear, this is quite ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Right, so we're in some kind of a creature's world.
So what are you doing now?
Well, I'm looking over that way because there's a table with some delicate looking, can't quite see them yet, ladies. They're having cups of tea. Oh, I just tip my hat and say hello, and keep going down this way. This way is all through the lobby.
Yep.
Looking through the lobby where there's lots of people all dressed as if they're about to go off and do whatever they do for their business for the day.
Yep.
I'm going through this way, and they've just opened the doors. They said, "Step this way, sir." They're big doors, like a conference room.
Yep.
And I feel like I just changed into a disguise, like I shape-shifted.
Okay.
So that I don't look like a line anymore, because that would scare these people. So I've put on a friendlier costume.
Yeah.
Let's see. Does seem like there's lots of tables.
Yeah.
And there's a stage.
Yep.
And I can't see who's at the tables. That's kind of like in darkness.
Yep. Where are you going?
But I know there's people there, but it doesn't seem to be relevant to the stage. And I'm going to deliver a lecture.
Yep.
So I can see a lectern.
Yep.
And I put some papers on the lectern.
Yep.
And that thing that I smoked that I didn't smoke, I put it beside me.
Yep.
On the lectern.
Yep. What are you going to lecture on? Do you know?
I can't tell at the moment. There's purple behind my eyes. It's like I'm hesitant to know or to discover what I'm teaching or delivering a message on.
Remember that you're very
just
safe,
trying to
and you're very protected.
go down deeper. It's lots of pages of notes. But I don't feel like I'm going to read all those notes. I think like
they're only for if you get stuck.
Go to hand. No, like if you go to deliver a conference paper, you hand in the conference paper to the organizers, and then your speech is just like the summary.
Yep.
You can read the details later.
Yep.
So I think I have the notes are part of the
Yep.
conference paper.
Yep.
And they're just there to say, look, here's the paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I hand it in at the end of the speech.
Yep.
But there's a clicker of some sort that's shaped like a lady beetle.
Did you have a slideshow?
And when, yes, so you click on the lady beetle and it sends a beam out from the lady beetle to the projector screen.
Yep.
How to deal with humans 101.
Love it.
Seems a bit silly. How to deal with humans 101. Because people in this room wish to remain unidentified.
Yeah.
But they're going to be sent to Earth soon to help the world believe in the realms that they can't see.
Wow.
With their human eyes.
So these are big missions.
So like I said, I can't even see who they are.
It's okay.
Myself. But I know they're there. And I know that there's some kind of a group. We're sending people from all sorts of kingdoms to teach different sorts of wisdom about nature and creatures that inhabit different planets and how we can help humans to discover the simple ways that nature does teach humans how to be humans whilst connecting with the invisible wisdom from the ancient realms that did create the planet that they live on. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So I don't know if anybody does remember the blue rhinoceros from Megan's session in the Starseed session. She was on a planet where there was a blue rhinoceros that was her favorite animal.
Yep.
And so I can't remember what she said, but there was something special about that blue rhinoceros.
Yep.
And we don't have blue rhinoceroses on Earth, but just like that special rhinoceros had a special meaning and healing ability.
Yep.
So do the animals and the trees and the wind and the sea and the rain and the thunder and the clouds and the moss and the butterflies and the bees. But those are just iterations of species and sentience that has been around for billions of years on billions of planets.
Yep.
And the Earth is ready to connect the lineage and the wisdom
between the root cause, the original species, original creature that Source did create, and the creatures and sentience we have on Earth now. So it's like something has happened or changed that has allowed Mother Gaia to say, tick, criteria met. Okay, enough people care about the planet now to create a chain of transference that gets sent or whatever it's going to do. But so this conference is because these creatures, they're not creatures, these beings that are here in disguise, will be sent to Earth. And I don't know what they're going to be. Maybe they're new species of birds and butterflies and bees or whatever, or they're just maybe small iterations. But because the humans are starting to see the beauty in nature, they can learn how to see the beauty in themselves. And by letting the nature and the creatures help the humans feel more relaxed and more loving, they can be kinder to the creatures. And what this just does is that this means that they will be kinder to themselves. And when they are kinder to themselves, I don't know, magical things do happen. And at a cellular level, when magical things do happen, they can reignite the spark of love within, which helps heal their hearts. And I think I just left the room.
So you've finished
That
your
might be
lecture?
all I'm allowed to say, but you get the picture.
Yep.
Seem to have gone.
Okay, so where are you going now?
I don't know where I've gone to. Back in that thing.
So you're transporting.
So I do believe that was just a. Maybe I was there for quite a few days, but that was just like a
glimpse.
You know, when you watch a video and fast forward, a glimpse, that's the word.
Yep. Where do you find yourself now?
I think I'm going up very high again.
Yep.
And I see a rocky cliff face. Like, doesn't make sense, but as if I was going to climb Mount Everest or to consult with an eagle.
Yep.
Or a vulture might be a better word.
Yep.
Oh, that's not very helpful, guys.
But maybe you are going to consult with
They
a
just showed
vulture.
me. Have you ever? Do you, they showed me a scene from. Did you ever watch Angry Birds, the cartoon?
Oh,
Probably not. You
I've
don't have
seen
kids.
it
But
maybe
do
once.
you know the Angry
maybe.
Birds? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big eagle creature that lives on the very top
Yep.
of a mountain, and all the angry birds are kind of scared of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not him, but you know what I mean. That's
Yep.
like trying to show me something to make me laugh. But I was like, oh, it's all right, dudes. I kind of got the picture. I could see the craggy rock face.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a bit like when in the most recent Star Wars, or second most recent one,
Mm.
where they discover Luke Skywalker as an old man on that
Yep.
remote island, and the young girl goes to train with him,
Yep.
and he really just doesn't want her there, but he would just rather be alone.
Yep.
So I feel like I'm going to consult some master in the sky who takes on the form of a vulture or an eagle or something like that.
Yep.
No.
No.
He's not the master. He protects the entranceway. He's like the bodyguard.
Okay. So the vulture is like the guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Does he let you in?
Just getting orange behind my. I'm just getting a bit of a consultation from Archangel Michael.
Okay.
Says I don't have to go here, but this is Father Sky issue. So it's a bit as though, imagine someone said you have to go to the top of the highest mountain on earth
Mm-hmm.
and climb up in your best suit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get there, you have to say something smart and wise for the vulture to open the door.
Yep.
And then because you're going to the sun, you have to trust that if you step into the sun, you will not get burnt. Because imagine if somebody said to you, you're going on an expedition to the sun today, you would say, don't be stupid, you'll burn up on entry.
Okay.
Because that is what science tells us, right? So Archangel Michael just said it's okay, you don't have to go there, but so if you want to see the wisdom, you have to be brave enough to step into the sun. So I'm just getting my big girl boots on.
Good.
Or big girl undies or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Getting my brave buckle on. And what I've done is I've taken off my suit and I've put on doesn't make sense, but I'll go with it, a Vikings outfit.
Cool.
Because it makes me feel courageous and courageous. No, that's the same word, right? Courageous.
Yep.
And a bit like I can do anything.
Like a superhero.
I've got like a big, I've got like a big, like Thor's hammer in my hand.
Yep.
Too many analogies this time. And what I've realized is that, you know how the Japanese represent the sun? It's like a round disc.
Yep.
Or a bronze disc.
Mm-hmm.
Or like in sound healing, you would say just the big bronze round sound healing gong, like a gong, right?
Yep.
So the door to the sun is like a gong, and you just bang this Thor's hammer onto it, and it makes that
reverberating sound. Yep.
Sound.
Yep.
Mhm. Mhm. And so you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get a rocket ship. You just bang gently on the door, and then the man that looks like he's from Monkey Magic opens the door,
Yep.
slides across. It's weird. So we're going with the Japanese analogy.
It's okay.
And says, please take off your shoes and come this way. So, oh, this is so weird. And there's like a geisha girl now, all dressed up.
Yep.
And I bow to her. Now I seem very slim and like in robes myself, but not like the geisha girl robes and not like the monkey magic robes.
Yep.
Anyway, maybe ceremonial robes.
Yep.
And so before I go any further, I have a sip of this liquid,
Mm-hmm.
which does what? I don't know. It's not a truth serum. It's not because I'm not a spy. Everything behind my eyes is turned yellow.
Not just a welcoming tea or a opening up your mind expansion.
It's hard. It hurts in my heart right now.
Is it hard
That's what allows you to
expanding?
dissolve. It allows you to dissolve so you become the sun. Why do you need to become the sun?
Does it dissolve your avatar so you become light?
Come as one. So you become the yellow-orange sun as well. Yes. There's no words or images coming. It's just like I dissolved for a minute and I've gone in there. But there's part of me that's still out here watching that I've gone in there. And because in there I don't seem to have any consciousness. I'm just the sun. And then when I'm ready, I come back out and I feel all good again. And I've got some kind of extra wisdom, knowledge. Oh, I don't know, just what, let me see.
Sit with it for a minute, see what comes.
Oh.
Remembering you're safe and protected.
Oh, I see. So what scared me was it was like I was coming out of the sun in a new form, yet I could still see myself in the other form.
Okay.
So it looked like a snow monster coming out of the sun,
Yep.
which I just equate to being formless, but about to develop a form.
Yep.
And so this dude who came up all the way up to the sun, he was a task-based, not task-based. wisdom teacher
Yep.
soul cycle thingy.
Yep.
And then he goes in there, gets refreshed, comes back out, and then, but he's still there. But the new snow monster comes back out of the sun. It's not a snow monster, but is very excited, and then goes and slides down a slippery slide. Kind of like when I come out of the Akashic with you, Cindy. And goes off and has an adventure. And it feels like the one that went down the slippery slide is there to have fun and experience emotions wherever they want to. Whereas the other slice of me that is outside of the door says, okay, done. Now I'm going to keep on going back down the mountain, and I've got other lectures to deliver elsewhere on other subjects that are important to other places. But this slice of my soul does not die. And I do not become unhappy because I am perfectly happy in my role, which is to share wisdom, to help people. But that part of me, which has been refreshed, is also happy because it has gone off to have experiences. And that does seem like fun. Maybe I would like to do that, but I already know that I am doing that. And sometimes I think, oh dear, that's a bit strange. But then I'm like, well, I'm busy anyway. I'll just let him have his fun or her, and I'll go back to what I'm doing, and off they go. And then I don't bother about worrying about that, because that person there that is also me, is also my soul, is busy doing experiences. And if I look over that way, I can sort of see a circle that represents the man from the last session who was on the helicopter, and he was doing job saving people and things, and he's busy over there doing his things, right? And he is happy because he is getting tasks done, and the tasks are to save people. So that part of the soul is happy when it's doing tasks, right?
Yep.
So we have the wisdom, teaching, experiences, emotions, tasks, saving souls, and then there's a shape over here, and I don't know what that shape is yet. Shaped like a flower petal. And I feel a bit shaky thinking about it, but that's something else.
Yeah, safe to go and look at it and understand.
Oh, so it's like when I explained, was I with you, Cindy, when I pulled out the yellow flower and showed the incarnations of the petals? No.
No, but you've told me about
It's
it.
like the sun is the center.
Yep.
Yeah, the sun is the center. And these, I keep wanting to say soul cycles, but it's different to soul cycles because these are emotions, knowledge, wisdom, teaching, task, something else. I don't quite understand how it fits in, but anyway, something. These are called something else, but they're also part of the original soul. Okay, so maybe what's this one over here? It's dark at the moment, this petal.
Yep. Is there a way it can be lit up?
Okay, so I've got the, Yeah, so what I have to do here is that the problem is that I'm still standing here as the wisdom man, right?
Yep.
At the top of the mountain.
Yep.
And this exists. This is not me over there, but it is me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
This one has a different identity.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm not supposed to jump over there and look, but also this is part of what the wisdom that might be part of the next thing that I have to teach. That makes sense?
Yep.
Like,
So if it is part of the next thing that you have to teach, how do you learn about it?
this. Yeah, that's a good question. That's what I don't understand.
Is there anyone there who can guide you?
Because I just saw something. I just saw like a patch of cabbages, and out of the cabbage came a person that went, "Surprise, I'm born." And so maybe the slice of the soul is now in that patch.
Yep.
And maybe I'm just supposed to stand here and say, I will watch for a while
Mm-hmm.
while I see what I do over there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I'm still up on the top of the mountain. And I feel like this wisdom teacher fellow,
Yep.
this is a new badge that he earns. It's like getting a PhD in human terms. And
Mm-hmm.
so this is where experience and theory crosses, because you need to analyze it, but you also have to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
But how can you be in two places at once? But you can be. So if we just pull out a chair for him to sit down on
Mm-hmm.
and give him a strong brew of some sort, he can just sit there and relax, and he can watch what happens next, and we can go to the cabbage patch
Mm-hmm.
and say hello to this part of the soul that is going to do the next bit, but we don't know what it is.
Okay.
But there's right, hang on. There's just a bit of green. We're doing some healing so I can do this.
Yep.
Oh. Seeing a lot of eyes flashing behind my eyes. Like it's trying to show me. Oh, it keeps coming up. Like which person do I want to be born as? This one here seems very big. Eyes seem very big. I can. Yes, this face wants to be mine. Oh, this one. I can see like two faces in front of my eyes, like I'm trying to choose which one.
Okay. Yep.
But I'm not looking at it as though I'm looking behind those eyes. I'm looking as though those eyes are being presented to me as a face really close to mine, but facing me.
Yep.
And then I have to look into the eyes from my eyes. See, does that fit? Does that match? And that one does seem to match me. Okay. What's going on now? Did see a mother's pregnant belly from the outside.
Yep.
Don't know whose it is. I was just focused on that face. Okay. I can't see that face anymore, but what happens next? I am trying to see, I can see another little face, and I'm trying to decide if that is me still looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I haven't, like the baby is in the womb, but I haven't got into the womb yet. Do you know what I mean? Or if there's another baby in the womb, like there's twins. So that's what I'm looking for. Trying to understand. Right. Oh, there's me. And there's me.
So do you feel safe and secure, like you're in the womb?
Yes, but I can't figure out where I am. It's kind of like confusing. Like a feeling of, do I exist or do I not exist?
It probably is confusing at the start. The soul's coming in like that.
I think I was just seeing different stages of the development.
Yep.
Because the eyes do look different over here to over here.
So is it different stages of development, or are you looking at maybe a twin or something of that nature?
That's what I'm trying to.
So then it would
That's what I'm
be
trying to figure out.
the same set of eyes, but different.
Could be a bit of both, because at some stage it looks like a tab hole.
Mm-hmm.
Some stage it looks black. It's like nothing.
Okay.
But I think they're saying that I'm getting stuck on something that doesn't need to be getting stuck on.
Yep. Okay. So try to move
So
forward.
next, what happens next? Okay, because born in a pram.
Okay.
We're in a pram that is blue.
Yep.
And why am I saying we're being pushed around?
We.
I can't see in the pram. Yeah, that's what I know. I can't see in the pram, but I know there's a white blanket.
Do you feel like you have lots of room in the pram, or just enough room?
I feel like it's a big pram.
Okay.
Like there are maybe more than one people pushing the pram too.
Okay.
Like maybe doesn't feel quite right, but maybe just pretend you lived by a big park and there was a daycare center.
Yep.
And they did take all the babies out for a stroll.
Yep.
But they had plenty of room. And so they put all the babies together in one gigantic stroller.
Yep.
Or maybe they're just so close together it feels like it. And then
Yep.
there's a pair of hands for each stroller, but they're all going at once.
Yep.
And the babies are happy because they're going outside with some fresh air.
Yep.
And then the grandmothers in the park, they do wave to the ladies who are pushing the pram.
Mm-hmm.
And they wave to the babies. And that makes them happy. And the babies see the pigeons. And I don't know what else the babies see, but they seem happy.
Yep.
And there's a part of me that's getting frustrated, like, what's the point of this? But I'll keep going.
The point is you're showing different
And
parts
the
of
water fountain is there in the middle.
happiness. Remember?
Hmm.
Just try to follow it along a bit further along.
So the babies do like being bounced on the grandmother's knee
Mm-hmm.
because they feel protected and they don't know anything but love.
Yeah.
These babies, anyway. They're blissfully unaware.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about what's in the newspaper that day
Mm-hmm.
or how to buy groceries.
Yep.
They just know how to be a baby.
Yep.
They do know they feel happy when they see anybody. They're happy to see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Some babies can see boogie monsters. They're never happy to see them, but that's okay. They're learning about fear if they can see the boogie monsters. But some kids don't see them. They just, oh, it's a bright light. Some babies see the bright lights instead of the boogie monsters, and the bright lights are very bright. They're the children who can see the angels from birth.
Mm-hmm.
And they can be a bit sensitive because the light is so bright. It hurts their eyes.
Yep.
But they are not afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. It just feels like the sun is shining directly in your eyes all day, every day,
Mm-hmm.
until they get adjusted to it.
Okay. Yep.
And then some babies can see, I can see another face. I can see like faces that they seem to know from somewhere, but they don't know why because they're just babies. But these faces that I can see do seem to be comforting. And
is this like their parents' faces or other people or?
no, like what do you call them? Ancestors.
Okay, yep.
Like mediumship for babies.
Yep. Okay.
Like they can see the people behind the veil. So that's 3 types of babies so far.
Yep.
Then there's the the blissfully unaware, the babies that can see the boogie monsters, the babies that can see the angels, the babies that can see the ancestors or spirit family. Have I done my fingers? Yeah. What other kinds of babies are there? Sad babies. These babies, I don't know why they seem sad, but they seem sad. Something's making them very sad.
So is it pain? Is it loss? Can you feel into why they're feeling sad at all?
Seems like they have a checklist. Oh, it's hurting my head. It's like they decided to combine a task and an experience at once.
Mm-hmm.
And they feel confused.
Mm-hmm.
Because why does that baby feel so blissful and I feel like my head is hurting and I'm crying all the time?
Yep.
And maybe there's something wrong with my leg or my head or I can't see properly, but I seem to have bitten off more than I can chew.
Okay. Yep.
But I'll keep going anyway.
Yep.
There's those kind of babies. There's the babies with the big, big hearts that they decided just to come to be love. Whenever you're around these kind of babies, they don't quite look right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give them a kind of a name, but they seem to be in love with everybody that they meet. They have got no filter to love. They just love. And they bring happiness
Yep.
to everybody, except for some that might bully them, but otherwise they are just like permanently providing love to people.
Yep.
They are just happy to be born to do that.
Yep.
And I think that's about all the babies that I want to talk about now.
Okay.
But what's the point of that? Some babies, there's one more category.
Mm-hmm.
Some babies are very impatient. They choose to be born and they want to check off all of those categories all at once.
Do you know anyone like that?
And that can be very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Mm-hmm. Is this why you were showing
That
these?
funny little indie. Well, the big heart part is I don't have that bit. I don't have an extra chromosome. Mm. Mm.
Are you saying that we have to be all of these babies at some stage?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay.
I think this is a choose your own adventure.
Yep. Okay.
Depends what your soul wants to learn.
Yep. Okay.
But I feel definitely those big lovey babies are a very special category,
Mm-hmm.
very special honor.
So do you feel that's only something you can do after you've got to a certain level or a certain achievement, or?
No, I think anybody can choose to do that.
Okay.
But it just requires you to be confident
Okay. Yep.
in your ability to be a beacon of love and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are many ways you can provide joy and happiness and love to people, and you can do that just by being any of the other one of the babies.
Yep.
But those babies do especially want to bless specific souls who need a blessing.
Yep. Okay.
Or who need a blessing in disguise.
Yep.
Or who need to learn a very specific lesson about love, and they decide that that would be a nice way to learn it rather than maybe say going through 750 bad divorces.
Okay. Yep.
I don't think that was a very good example, but that's the one that came to my mind.
Yep. Okay.
So you can do it the hard way, or you can do it whatever way you like. Hang on, I've just got lots of yellow and white at the moment behind my eyes. I'm just processing that. So you can be a ray of sunshine in any way, in any incarnation, but you have to take your raincoat off and allow the sun to shine through you. And some people don't realize that they have a raincoat on and they need to take it off. It's kind of like a barrier.
Yep.
But that is part of the lesson. But what I don't understand is
So is the raincoat a symbol of spiritual awakening? They take that off and let their light
No.
shine?
no, it's
Okay.
just a symbol of being you. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to be, you just have to be you. I don't know how else to put it. You just have to be who you came to be. And you could come to be a politician. And a politician doesn't need a spiritual awakening to be a good politician.
No,
just
but
needs
they,
to be
by spiritual awakening, I mean
the
come back to
best
themselves.
version of themselves. Well, then we're saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So correct.
Mm-hmm.
But what I meant is that some people do that by doing courses and being religious or being spiritual. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they have it as a spiritual awakening because they tried to do it because somebody said they needed to increase their vibration,
Yeah.
or they needed to do this or that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that by being you and nobody else, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you were saying anyway, right?
It was, yes. My choice of words was not good, yes.
No, it's not good. It's just so that the listeners understand.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Because
I understand.
some people hear it your way, some people hear it a different way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So it was a bit it's a bit like when Katisha's being bossy to Cindy. Cindy doesn't need to be Cindy needs to be Cindy. And that is when Katish is trying to do the wisdom fellow, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And a bit of the task fellow.
Yes.
And that's just because it's not her being bossy, but her bringing in knowledge and transmissions from the other parts of her soul who say, "Be me in, Scotty, I've got something to say here."
Yep.
I didn't even watch that show, but anyway, yeah, be me in, Scotty, I've got a transmission for you. And sometimes it is not received well because Katish is Katish, and she's not this person and not that person, but she is also them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so she has to decide and to figure out how to be Katish.
Yes.
And so it does seem very simple to say just be you, but that's the most difficult thing there is to be, because you have been so many beings on so many places that sometimes it's like, who am I? Where did I come from?
And we have been conditioned by
Who am I
so
now?
much of our
Because
experiences.
because sometimes you can say, I don't know who I am because I can only remember being somebody else.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So being you is very difficult, actually, but actually not difficult. It's what do you call those? That word, oxymoron, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah, contrasting situation where it seems ridiculous, but it is. It's yeah, when two opposites occur at once.
Yeah.
Okay, now. So anyway, and sometimes the only way that you can be used by discovering what you are not.
Yeah.
And who you are not.
That makes sense, yes.
And I've got a lot of light behind my eyes at the moment. It's sort of like interrupting.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, there's this face that's very trying to come through. I don't know who it is.
That's okay. Invite them
I'm trying to
through
figure
and
it
we
out.
may be able to find out.
Can bring in somebody now. Somebody like the wise woman under the sea. That doesn't sound right. Who's the wise woman under the sea?
Oh, don't question it. What does the wise woman under the sea have for us today?
Just keep seeing the mermaid and the treasure chest.
That's the treasure chest.
She's just saying, come down here for a minute. Your mind is a bit choppy from all the brain waves. You just need to come under the sea and let it calm for a minute.
Yep.
Because the big angel does want to come through, but you must be very calm to do that because you have your eyes closed and you're not staring at the camera. Because the purple angel Archangel Zacchaeo says that you can come back another day, but he thinks you will want to hear what is coming next. For Katische to discover, and she decides to step into Katische rather than the other ones that she has been very good at connecting with naturally during her current lifetime. Because she is rather uncomfortable with being out of control. And that is why the task and the wisdom and the rescue ones were easier to be and direct her activities towards, because she knew she was helping them do their job. By being here as an assistant. But she can also just let them do their jobs now, as they have a team of assistants anyway, and she can just concentrate on discovering who she is, which is going to make her cry because she's nearly 49. And how can you spend 49 years being assistants to yourself whilst not being yourself, but being very good at being assistants to yourself, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Is it funny?
Because who is she if she doesn't help find ghosts? Or do regressions? Or help heal the other people she has been? And now her babies don't need bouncing anymore because they're big boys. Who does she be? She does not be a mother.
She will always be a mother.
And who does she be if she does not be a teacher? And who does she be if she does not be on a big ship in the sky? Who does she be if she's not checking planets to see there's no beings left on there? And she has discovered many kings and queens and Vikings and Egyptians and Indians and monks and children who got stolen in towers and explorers. And who does that leave to be? If you have been a mermaid and a unicorn and or an owl and a lion and a whale and a dolphin. And so when we told her to do this series, we wanted her to help her find who she is to be. Because you see, everybody that she has been both happy and sad and scared and excited, as well as being dead and being alive, and being in love and being out of love, being up trees and being at the bottom of the ocean. And she wanted to solve the problem for everybody so that they could do this session and say, "Da-da, I be this now. I put this sticker on my forehead and I can look in the mirror and say, I am blah, 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 and I do this. And I saw this because I did this session that said, I am happiest when I do this." And she thought she could make the people happier by doing this. So it was a bit of a, she thought she could bring in some wisdom and some tick done. But it doesn't seem like that has worked.
Why do you say that?
Well, we don't say that, but she says that. Because see, the rescue part, she's still holding on to rescue. I shall rescue you and show you your happiness and your heart, and you shall be better. And you shall be happy forever and ever and ever and ever. And we shall say that happiness is just one aspect of an experience. You don't have to be happy all the time, but you have to find a way to be happy instead of being sad all the time, or peaceful instead of being worried all the time, or joyful instead of being like an Eeyore all the time. And that is all we wanted to show, was to show people that, to quote Dumbledore, in the darkest of times, all you have to do is to remember to turn the light on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was meant to do. Just to show you that when you focus on the happiness, you turn the light on for yourself and for others. And you don't need to have the light on all day because it would be too bright and you couldn't sleep, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
But you do need to remember that the light switch is there. And that is the most important thing we want to teach the world right now, is to switch the light on when you feel afraid or feel worried. Even if it's just for 2 minutes while you have a cup of tea, switch the light on.
Okay. Okay, hi. All right, I won't ask any more questions
That's
then.
it, apparently.
I did want to ask more questions, but okay, I won't. Apparently, I'm not going to get a chance to.